Remember the Cambridge Analytica data scandal? Well, the scandal was just a small piece of the puzzle. This thing is a very deep rabbit hole. The real story is not that simple. We'll tell you the untold story of Facebook. In 2002, when Zuckerberg completed his studies at Exeter, he enrolled at Harvard. Authorities shut the site down because the traffic it generated was too much for one of Harvard's network switches to handle. It's possible that Zuckerberg's time at Phillips Exeter Academy, a prestigious prep school from which he graduated in 2002, served as an early influence for Facebook. Zuckerberg left Harvard after his sophomore year to focus on the Facebook project full-time. In 2005, the venture capital firm Excel Partners significantly assisted Mark Zuckerberg's company. Facebook's IPO on March of 2012 was the largest internet IPO ever in terms of revenue, at $16 billion. In 2004, they filed a case, which was eventually thrown out on March 28th of 2007. In the wake of severe whistleblower revelations and continuous criticism, Facebook announced its intention to rename the company. Facebook has acquired several other companies, including Instagram, WhatsApp, and Beat Games. Once his platform was big enough, he opened it to the whole world. This way, at the start, he saved a lot of cash on infrastructure, and focusing on limited groups made it easy to expand. You want to share your picture. You upload it to Facebook and you share it with your friends. It's so easy and simple. But there's a catch. It's not that simple. Your whole data has been saved to some data center, and even if you delete your picture or even full account, there's no guarantee that it's removed from Facebook data centers. Remember the Cambridge Analytica data scandal? Well, the scandal was just a small piece of the puzzle. This thing is a very deep rabbit hole. Facebook profits so much by keeping your data that it makes $117.93 billion every year, which makes the company one of the most valuable companies in the world. They have a valuation of over $297 billion. At peak in September of 21, the company was valued at around $1 trillion. Mark Zuckerberg founded the company in 2004 from a Harvard dorm room, but that's the story that's been told. The real story is not that simple. We'll tell you the untold story of Facebook and which groups helped Mark Zuckerberg create this company. Watch the full video to learn and understand this secret, untold story of Mark Zuckerberg. We at Business Chronicles tell the stories of extraordinary successful people. Please subscribe to our channel to help us in making more videos. Mark Zuckerberg was born on May 14, 1984, to psychiatrist Karen and dentist Edward Zuckerberg in White Plains, New York. He and his three sisters, Ariel, Randy, and Donna, were raised in Dobbs Ferry, New York. Zuckerberg's interest in computers began at a young age, and at age 12, he used Atari Basic to design a messaging application he called ZuckNet. His father utilized the application in his dental clinic so that the receptionist could alert him of new patients without shouting across the room. Similarly, his family used ZuckNet for in-house communications. For high school, Zuckerberg started off at Ardsley High School, but eventually moved on to Phillips Exeter Academy. He led the fencing squad as captain. He also did well in literature and got a diploma in classics. Even so, Zuckerberg never lost his interest in computers and never stopped trying to create new programs. While still in high school, he developed Synapse, an early precursor to the music streaming service Pandora. In 2002, when Zuckerberg completed his studies at Exeter, he enrolled at Harvard. He was a member of Alpha Epsilon Pi and Kirkland House and majored in psychology and computer science. As a sophomore, he created a program called Course Match to assist students finding study partners and decide which classes to take. Soon after, he developed another program which he called Face Mash, which would allow students to vote on who they thought was the most attractive out of a group of images. Authorities shut the site down because the traffic it generated was too much for one of Harvard's network switches to handle. Many kids also felt their images were being stolen and used inappropriately. When the student newspaper published pieces claiming that Zuckerberg's site was completely improper, he publicly apologized. In January of 2004, at the start of the next school year, Zuckerberg began writing the code for a new website. Along with his college roommates, Eduardo Saverin, Andrew McCollum, Dustin Moskovitz, and Chris Hughes, Zuckerberg released The Facebook on February 4, 2004. It was initially hosted at thefacebook.com. It's possible that Zuckerberg's time at Phillips Exeter Academy, a prestigious prep school from which he graduated in 2002, served as an early influence for Facebook. It put out a student directory called the Photo Address Book, also known as the Facebook among students. Such photo directories were significant elements of many private school students' social lives. Students used them to compile lists of information about themselves, including their class years, friends, and phone numbers. Facebook was originally only a Harvard thing, but when Zuckerberg sought to expand it to other universities, he recruited his roommate Dustin Moskovitz to help. They started with elite universities, including Columbia, NYU, Stanford, Dartmouth, Cornell, Penn, Brown, and Yale. Zuckerberg left Harvard after his sophomore year to focus on the Facebook project full-time. Eventually, Zuckerberg, Moskovitz, and the other co-founders settled in Palo Alto, California, where they rented a modest house to use as a makeshift workplace. As the summer progressed, Zuckerberg was introduced to Peter Thiel, who invested in the company. By the second half of 2004, they'd moved into their first office. Zuckerberg claims that the original intention was to return to Harvard, but they ultimately opted to stay in California because he enjoyed the mythical place that is Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is the hub of the world's computer technology and is located in California. In 2005, the venture capital firm Excel Partners significantly assisted Mark Zuckerberg's company, which contributed to the company's rapid expansion. The network, initially restricted to students at Ivy League universities, received $12.7 million from Excel. By December of 2005, the site had over 5.5 million members, largely thanks to Zuckerberg's decisions to open mentorship to students at other universities, high schools, and overseas institutions. Businesses started taking notice of the site because of its growing popularity and decided to start placing ads on it. Mark Zuckerberg turned down acquisition proposals from Yahoo and MTV networks. Instead, he prioritized the site, making APIs available to other developers and providing new functionality. In a 2007 interview, he said, "It's not because of the amount of money. For me and my colleagues, the most important thing is that we create an open information flow for people. Having media corporations owned by conglomerates is just not an attractive idea to me." Facebook's IPO on March of 2012 was the largest internet IPO ever in terms of revenue, at $16 billion. Despite the IPO's initial success, Facebook's stock price plummeted in the first few days of trading. Nevertheless, Zuckerberg is widely believed to be able to weather the storm. In 2013, Facebook was added to the Fortune 500 list for the first time, making Zuckerberg, at age 28, the youngest CEO on the list. 3 Harvard students, named Cameron Winklevoss, Tyler Winklevoss, and Divya Narendra, sued Facebook's founder Mark Zuckerberg, alleging that he had misled them into thinking he would assist them in creating a social network called HarvardConnection.com, later called ConnectU. In 2004, they filed a case, which was eventually thrown out on March 28th of 2007 due to a procedural issue. It was shortly resubmitted to the federal court in Boston. Facebook filed a countersuit against the Winklevoss-Cheng group, and it claimed partners ConnectU and i2Hub over their involvement with the Social Butterfly project. On June 25th of 2008, Facebook and the plaintiffs reached a settlement in which Facebook agreed to transfer approximately 1.2 million common shares and pay $20 million in cash. In November of 2007, sensitive court documents were published on the website 02138, a magazine focused on Harvard University alums. They contained Zuckerberg's social security number, his parents' address, and his girlfriend's address. Facebook filed a motion to have the documents withdrawn, but the judge sided with 02138. In March of 2004, a month after Mark Zuckerberg launched Facebook, Wang Chen introduced i2Hub, a similar service for college students only. One of i2Hub's main features was the ability to share files with others wirelessly. Both i2Hub and Facebook were enjoying a surge in popularity and press coverage at the same time. Prior to the release of Facebook platform applications in 2007, Zuckerberg, Andrew McCollum, Adam D'Angelo, and Sean Parker released a competing peer-to-peer file sharing service called WireHog in August of 2004. In 2013, Zuckerberg started Internet.org, which he said was an effort to give internet access to the 5 billion people who didn't have it at the time. In 2016, Zuckerberg co-founded Breakthrough Starshot, a venture to construct solar sail spacecraft. In the wake of severe whistleblower revelations and continuous criticism, Facebook announced its intention to rename the company and change its name on October 21st of 2021. At Facebook Connect on October 28, 2021, the company revealed its new metaverse vision and changed its name from Facebook Inc. to Meta Platforms. According to Facebook's public relations efforts, the name change is in line with the company's goal of creating the metaverse, a digital extension of real world made possible through social networking, VR and AR technology, and other means. Facebook has acquired several other companies, including Instagram, WhatsApp, and Beat Games. Since becoming wealthy, Zuckerberg has donated to numerous organizations. Most notably, in September of 2010, he gave $100 million to the struggling Newark public school system in New Jersey. Then in December of the same year, Zuckerberg signed the Giving Pledge, committing him to give away half his fortune to charity. Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and George Lucas are among the many other members of the Giving Pledge. Following his donation, Zuckerberg urged other young, successful business people to do the same. In October of 2014, Zuckerberg and Chan gave $25 million to help stop the spread of Ebola virus in West Africa. In an open letter to their daughter published in November of 2015, Zuckerberg and his wife Chan stated that they would donate 99% of their Facebook shares. In September of 2016, Zuckerberg and Chan announced that the company into which they had put their Facebook shares, the Chan-Zuckerberg Initiative, or CZI, would invest at least $3 billion into scientific research over the next decade to aid in the cure, prevention, and management of all diseases in our children's lifetime. CZI has appointed Corey Bergman, a renowned neuroscientist from Rockefeller University, to the position of President of Science. He started Chan-Zuckerberg Biohub, an independent research facility in San Francisco, which was also launched to bring together engineers, computer scientists, biologists, chemists, and others in the scientific community. Biohub is a consortium of Stanford, UCSF, and UC Berkeley, and will get $600 million in initial funding over 10 years. Amidst the global spread of COVID-19, Zuckerberg gave $25 million to an accelerator supported by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation that's looking into potential treatments for the virus. He also announced $25 million in grants to support local journalism affected by the pandemic and $75 million in local newspaper ads by Facebook Inc. Mark Zuckerberg is an impressive personality. Throughout his life, he'd been controversial, many love him and many hate him. Though his controversial moves like stealing a Facebook idea from the Winklevoss brothers, his attempt to discredit Facebook co-founder Eduardo Saverin, his selling data speculations, and his latest Facebook whistleblower scandal, his business tactics were very impressive, where he first made a website exclusive to Harvard only and then slowly he expanded to other universities. Once his platform was big enough, he opened it to the whole world. This way at the start, he saved a lot of cash on infrastructure and focusing on limited groups made it easy to expand. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to watch more videos like this.